You guys remember what happened with the Fyre Festival? Netflix remembers, so let's talk about the new documentary. The new Netflix documentary about the Fyre Festival is an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at the infamous unraveling of the Fyre Music Festival. I remember watching like everything unfold about the Fyre Festival, seeing the sandwiches with the cheese and the salad, the tents where everybody was staying. If you guys don't know what the Fyre Festival was, definitely check out this documentary. It was a big music festival that just fell apart and it was like a huge disaster. So we're gonna talk about this Netflix documentary. Now there is a Hulu documentary, which I have not seen. I will definitely check it out. So we're gonna talk about the good, the bad, and at the end, I'm gonna give you the score for Fyre, the greatest party that never happened. Make sure to comment down below with your thoughts on this documentary. Have you seen the Hulu one? What'd you think about that one as well? Do you recommend I check that out as well? So let's talk about this Fyre Music Festival documentary. It is interesting to see what went behind this Fyre Music Festival. See how it kind of all started, what was the idea, how they went about booking these big celebrity guests, how they went about getting the tents, because as a social media user, I just saw the sandwiches in the tents and people trying to leave this party and it just being a big disaster. Seeing all the tweets on Twitter and the Facebook posts, I just saw the big disaster. But this documentary really dives deep into how did this party start? What was the idea for this? Why it all kind of fell apart? And I thought it did a great job of explaining a lot of things throughout this movie, and me really being interested in wanting to know more about it, because it really starts off with this guy, Billy McFarland, and how he has this company, Fyre, which is an app that allowed for you to book celebrities for special events. And so he got started talking with Ja Rule, the rapper, and he had just recently bought an island that was owned by Pablo Escobar, and they wanted to throw a big festival. So they really started hyping this festival up, hiring models to get on the island, take pictures, and start tweeting pictures about this Fyre Music Festival. And so they really were hyping this thing up without having a plan set in place. They had started to sell tickets, VIP packages that you could stay in with like houses or even boats. They had so much they wanted to do, but they didn't plan it all out. And seeing how it kind of unraveled and fell apart, and they had to find new locations and find new places to house hundreds of people, because they promised a bunch of people free houses because they were social media influencers and they were kind of hyping this festival up. So watching it just kind of fall apart right in front of your eyes was so mesmerizing and so interesting, because all I saw was like the social media tweets, and seeing just how it just all kind of came into play and fell apart. It was interesting. I had a blast watching this and learning more about Billy McFarland, his company, how he became famous, and what had happened during the whole festival. There were so many odd things that had happened, and it was just all crazy how much money was being poured into this festival, and they couldn't deliver what they promised to people. They were lying to so many different people, and they had booked so many people, and they just could not deliver what they had promised certain people. And it's just crazy how Billy McFarland, the guy who created this festival with Ja Rule, scammed so many people. And after the Fyre Music Festival was over and everybody had left and they were disappointed, there was more that Billy McFarland was doing. So this movie even continued after what had happened with the Fyre Music Festival, and he is a very sketchy guy, and he was still trying to scam people after the Fyre Music Festival. This guy just is money hungry. I just loved watching how he was trying to scam people, and it's It's a very interesting documentary. I highly recommend it. For negatives, it's a documentary that I wasn't anticipating to be like good. I didn't really have like expectations. I just wanted to sit and learn more about the disasters of the Fyre Festival, and I got that. As for negatives, there is some early parts in the beginning. It seemed like they were jumping around a little too much with different ideas. They just didn't feel like they were connected to certain things. Yes, it's all about like the Fyre Festival where they jumped from different topic to different topic really quick, and it was hard to kind of put pieces together early on, but as the movie progressed and they started to talk more about failure of the Fyre Festival, I think it all became very coherent. In the beginning, when they were talking about getting the models on the island and setting up the website and having people post on Instagram, it just seemed like they were very, it was jumbled. There were too many different things that they were trying to talk about in the beginning, and then it kind of all tied in, but it felt a little confusing at times. So before I give you my overall thoughts and score for this documentary, make sure to check out my Netflix playlist right above. There you can find other movie reviews that were on Netflix and shows as well. You can find everything that I reviewed in the past right here. So overall, this documentary was a lot of fun. I remember seeing all the tweets about this, and it was blowing my mind how poorly constructed this festival was and how it went about and just kind of fell apart. So I thought it was gonna be a documentary like American Vandal. I thought it was gonna be really hilarious. It just was very serious and very informative about the Fyre Music Festival, but overall I had a blast watching this. It's interesting to see how it just all fell apart and they were trying to do too much at once and it just did not work out. I'm gonna go ahead and give this documentary, Fyre, the Greatest Party That Never Happened, a B-. Thank you guys for checking out my review for the new documentary that airs on Netflix with the Fyre Music Festival. Have you guys seen the Hulu one? What do you think? You can check out my most recent video right over here. Make sure to click the subscribe button down below. My name is JustinWatchesmovies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.